So yesterday, the roller coaster of emotions continued for the Oklahoma Sooners because that was a day filled with information for Sooners fans. First and foremost, it was announced that Todd Bates, the defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator for Clemson, was going to be joining Brent Venables on the Sooners staff, a massive win for the Sooners. Then it was announced that Oklahoma was targeting current Alabama cornerback coach Jay Valai to fill the same role at the University of Oklahoma. However, it was not all positive news, as Caleb Williams announced his intention to enter the transfer portal. But the most interesting news of all came while we were doing our weekly live stream, where Dillon Gabriel announced that he was intending to transfer to the University of Oklahoma, something we have got to talk about. Before we do, as always, you know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes, N for no. Are you happy that Dillon Gabriel has transferred to the University of Oklahoma? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself, and both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But with all of that being said, we need to talk about this. And as a treat, I have clipped our live stream from last night, and at the end of this video, I will include it so you can see our live reaction. I had two Oklahoma fans with me. Jant Sports joined me, another Alabama fan. So two Alabama fans, two Oklahoma fans reacting live to the news about Dillon Gabriel. You don't want to miss that. But I did want to talk about it in a one-on-one setting because I think this is a big win for the Oklahoma Sooners, and I'm going to talk about a few reasons why. But first and foremost, let's talk Dillon Gabriel, because the former UCF quarterback hailing from Hawaii is one that put up big numbers during his tenure at UCF. 8,000 plus passing yards, a completion percentage above 60%, 8.8 average yards per attempt, and 70 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. He has got a ton of upside, and when you can imagine him coming from UCF to an organization such as OU that has the talent it does on offense, I think that's where Sooner fans can get really excited. The other area where this is unique is just kind of the storyline of Dillon Gabriel, and I'm just going to very briefly talk about this because Dillon Gabriel entered the transfer portal from UCF and had initially committed to UCLA. However, he never enrolled in UCLA, and once the availability became open at OU, he did not hesitate to capitalize on it. And I think that's something that Sooner fans are going to love, because he saw an opportunity that he thought he fit into well and that he thought would be great for him, and he jumped at it. And you cannot blame him, nor can you blame Oklahoma. Because I put out a video yesterday talking about Caleb Williams entering the transfer portal, and in the video I said I don't blame Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is someone who's been put in a situation that is not great given what happened with Lincoln Riley. And so I think a level of understanding is needed when talking about the Caleb Williams situation, because when he put out his statement, it was clear that Oklahoma was absolutely still on the table. He just wanted to test his options. But one of the things I've talked about consistently when talking about would Caleb Williams transfer, and something we talked about in the live stream, is when I looked around college football, I didn't see many openings readily available for Caleb Williams that I thought were just better than what Oklahoma provided. When you look across the country, Caleb Williams is going to want to go somewhere where he can start because he was just a starting quarterback. And I don't see too many institutions with that starting job available that I think could put him in the same position of success. The interesting thing about it is when we talk about what Lebby's offense could be for the Oklahoma Sooners. If we look at what Lebby did during his tenure at Ole Miss, he relied on a quarterback that could affect the game in multiple ways, whether it be on the ground or through the air, and they run a really interesting offense revolving around a run attack, but it's also RPO based. When you think about that and then you put Caleb Williams in that offense, you can start to see that that could be an offense that lends itself to success for someone with the stylistic ability of Caleb Williams that can affect the game on the ground, that can affect the game with his arm, and he's a young man that still needs development. Look, as much as I absolutely contend and believe he's a first-round talent, that's not going to come absent of development. He's an incredibly talented quarterback, but development is needed for every player entering college football. But when we talk about Lebby's offense, now we need to talk about it in relation to Dillon Gabriel. And he's also an individual that I think fits into this offense really, really well. Because his last season at UCF, he was by far and about having his best season on the ground. 24 attempts for 125 yards, averaging 5.2 yards per attempt. That's the kind of effect that I think Lebby will love. The other thing is when you talk about Dillon Gabriel and you put him into this offense, you can start to see with the playmakers around him why he would be so excited and why Levy would go out and get an individual such as Dillon Gabriel. I think ultimately when we're talking about this situation, the one thing that was so intriguing and so surprising was how little time Oklahoma spent thinking about what their next move would be. And look, as much as I continue to contend that I can't blame Caleb because of the situation that happened off the field with Lincoln Riley, he was put in a terrible situation, and I really feel for him. Nor can I blame Oklahoma for instantly going out and finding a guy they like. I cannot blame the Sooners one bit, because one of the things we talked about is what if the Sooners would have said no to Dillon Gabriel and then a week later Caleb Williams leaves? Look, I love Nick Evers. I think Nick Evers is going to be a really solid quarterback, but he's going to be a true freshman next year. And Oklahoma's in a position where, even though I think Nick Evers is the future, I don't think anybody disputes that, you would rather have him come in, sit a year, learn the Levy offense, and learn from an experienced quarterback that has had success in college football. Those guys can help the development of a Nick Evers tremendously, especially when they share stylistic approaches to the quarterback position. And I think both individuals are individuals who will flourish under Levy's offense if it's the offense I think he's going to bring in. But I absolutely cannot fault the Sooners in going out and getting somebody instantly. They identified somebody they thought was best for their team that could help their team, and they did not want to be put in a position where they'd put all their eggs in one basket. Because this has happened in recruiting before, and it's happened with the Sooners before, where you put all your eggs in a basket for a player hoping that that will garner their attention, and it doesn't work out, and then you're left high and dry. I think this is a great sign for Brent Venables, Levy, and company going out and finding somebody as quickly as possible. And it was also a situation where Dillon Gabriel probably looked at it, having committed to UCLA but not enrolled, and liked his opportunities to have success at OU under Levy better than his opportunities to have success at UCLA. And if that's the case, how can you blame him? He jumped at an opportunity that he thought would lend itself to success. Oklahoma jumped at an opportunity they felt would lend success to them, and right now it's going to be a very intriguing situation. Because even though I'm not saying this marks the end of Caleb Williams at OU, if I had to guess, and this is purely an opinion, no information being discussed here, this is just my opinion, I want to get that very clear, because the two Oklahoma fans in the chat had a little bit of a different opinion, and you'll see that shortly. I think this drastically diminishes the chances Caleb Williams comes back to OU, because he was already in a situation where he was going to have to learn a new offense. Now he's going to have to learn a new offense in a quarterback competition with Dillon Gabriel, who's more experienced than Caleb Williams, and that's going to put him in a precarious situation because there is no guarantee that Caleb Williams would win that job. But what a move by the Oklahoma Sooners, one that I actually think was for the best. Absolutely no questions about it, for the best. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket, and you have got to keep things rolling. Remember what I said yesterday. Stagnation is the enemy of progression, and if you get stagnant, places will pass you by. And this is an indication that Oklahoma has no interest in being stagnant. But with that, now watch our live reaction. That's it. See ya. I'm glad we have this right now because the whole chat gets to see a live reaction. Apparently, Dillon Gabriel is to OU. But with that, let's get Chris's opinion because Indy will be back shortly. I'm guessing. What are you thinking about the Dillon Gabriel news?
What in the blue hell is going on? I did not expect that to happen that fast. Does it tell us something? I really have no idea. This, at some point, I'm just like, God, please, just let OU rest. I mean, I'm not going to get any sleep tonight. This is crazy, bro. What the hell?
Hey, Dillon chat, Gabriel? Link me where to find that. Link me where to find that source. Because I'm interested in that. If someone could link me where to look for that, the official thing, because y'all...
Bro, he tweeted it out.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome for y'all.
I don't think you can see that. Oh, no.
Shoot me it in a message. Shoot me it in a message.
Right, I got you.
Hey, that's awesome for OU. That really is awesome. I'm sorry.
That is insane, man.
So, We got 2 OU fans with us. Breaking every time you're on, Chris, I feel like some breaking news happens for OU and everybody gets to see a completely authentic reaction. Everybody in the chat, you can ask these guys. There's no script sent out.
No.
Everything here is off the cuff, off the top of our head, and 100% authentic.
Yep.
I want to hear from the OU fans. What are you thinking about this?
Go ahead, JP. I'm trying to.
I said this. I've heard this all day.
You did.
I literally have heard from multiple trusted sources. If Caleb goes to the portal, Gabriel's coming to OU. He hadn't enrolled at UCLA yet. He wanted to be at OU all along with Jeff Levy, but it was contingent on if Caleb was coming back. At this point, I think you could probably say that Caleb's all but gone. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna come back and then just be like, I'm gonna duke it out with Dillon Gabriel for, whatever. But yeah, this is crazy. I probably am getting blown up on Twitter right now. I already have like 50 messages when I just checked. That's why I accidentally popped off. I didn't mean to. I'm on my phone right now because I don't have my laptop with me. But I mean, in my opinion, Dillon Gabriel is not Caleb Williams, but he is not that far of a drop off, especially when you look at Jeff Levy's offense and what he's done. He's already been in it for 2 years. He put up stupid numbers at UCF. He's gonna have better talent at OU. If we're not gonna get Caleb Williams, I'm happy getting Dillon Gabriel as a consolation.
What are you thinking? Jance, what are you thinking?
Well, Caleb Williams to Texas confirmed. No, I'm joking.
Hey, nobody said anything about your Bills today, so you need to go ahead and keep being.
We won. We won the game.
Yeah.
I'm happy despite Josh Allen's 3 consecutive interceptions, but no, I just, oh boy, this is just crazy news, man. Really, really crazy news. And I think what this tells you is that Oklahoma, man, they're not going to go out there and just try to put 100% of the resources to get Caleb Williams. Now, I think they would love to have him back, but I think this just tells you that we can move on, man. And again, this is not Lincoln Riley. This is Brent Venables. This is a different coach. This has a different mentality. This is a different mindset. This is the team that's getting ready for the SEC competition. And Oklahoma, they're going to do the best they can. And I think for Caleb Williams, I think it now opens a conversation about where is he going to go now. I think I was around 70, 80% sure he was going to return back to Oklahoma. I think now that's dropped now to maybe 50, 40. It's still I still have it high because go ahead.
No, I was just going to jump in and simply say this still means nothing about Caleb because the thing about it all is the fact that OU has to do what's best for OU. He's in a transfer portal, and the thing about it is that even if he came back next year, yes, you got a 4-star in Nico Evers, but you have to create competition inside of that quarterback room. So you can't just go in there and just say, okay, we got Caleb, so we're going to win a national championship. No, you got to go over there, put somebody behind Caleb that he's going to have to look over his shoulder and say, I'm competing against this guy for my job. You have to create competition. It's the same thing that he walked in this year with Spencer Rattler. You get what I'm saying? I mean, nobody coming into the season, nobody thought that he was going to eventually take over that position for Rattler. This is bonkers. This is crazy. But in my opinion, this means absolutely nothing for Caleb. Caleb comes back. Caleb is automatically the starter. However, he's going to have somebody who's going to push him.
Anybody should know you do not put all your eggs in one basket. This is an indication that that's changing. This is an indication, to Chris's point, that they are going to do what's best for the institution